Okay, welcome to week 6 of the breakdown. We're going through this classic myth that is still being circulated by all the big fat dudes at the gym who think that they are converting all their fat into muscle. And I'm going to show you how to really turn that fat into muscle. First, we just have to learn and appreciate the fact that you're not Jesus. You cannot turn water into wine. You cannot turn fat into muscle tissue. You can't turn water into tren. These things all have different cellular makeup. To zoom this out from here. So you've heard it all before. Every big fat guy at the gym say it. I'm just turning fat into muscle. It sounds really nice. Like, fuck, it would be just amazing when you're obviously like peak bulk and then all of a sudden you're like, sweet, I'm just going to turn all this fucking fat into muscle. But it's fucking impossible. It's because fat and muscle are completely different tissues. So the science between it. So fat is adipose tissue. It's compared to muscle is a fiber. So fat is actually stored energy. It's a triglyceride inside your glycerides. I can't even fucking pronounce it, but essentially it's like a form of energy as well. So, and as far as with muscles, they are fibers that contract and adapt and grow under load. Here's your fat cell. It's just a blob. That's just all your, you know, accumulated of fat. It's a completely different structure to what a muscle fiber is. It's like a fiber and a strand. So why this myth is, quite persistent and still exists to this day. I still see people talking about it in the gym and stuff like that. So the conversion of it just does sometimes look that way. Someone will just like completely, transform over a 16-week period, and you're like, oh fuck, they just literally just went from fat to jacked. So that's what they did. But what really happens is to burn fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. And to build muscle, you need to be in a caloric surplus and be training with intent, progressing your lifts and, training close to failure, plus obviously getting enough protein in as well. So it's two separate processes. Both of these need to happen at two separate occasions with your training to effectively do it. So how is fat actually being burned? So it's kind of crazy that 84% of fat burning is about you just breathe it out, just like talking and everything like that, and the rest just comes out as actually taking a piss. So if you're having a really sweaty diarrhea and you're pissing at the same time, you're essentially burning quite a lot of fat. So you're obviously breathing hard while you're taking a big shit, so you're breathing out a lot of fat, and it's quite amazing how that blob completely gets converted into carbon and then as water as well. So very, very weird. It's not just from literally just doing exercise. It's actually just, you breathing and then taking a piss and it's going out through sweat as well. So the real solution is step one, we need to be in a calorie deficit. Our calories need to be lower than the energy that we're putting out. So calories in versus calories out. You hear it all the time. Is it really that simple? Yes, it is. You can essentially eat all the same foods as you're doing. Just remember that obviously the volume of yummy, tasty takeaway food is going to be a lot smaller than if you do decide to cook at home and all those sort of things. So you can obviously do if it fits your macros and if it fits your calories. Just be aware that the volume of food will determine how full you stay and everything like that. But essentially, yeah, this is it. We just need to create a calorie deficit. Now, it doesn't need to be fucking crazy. A lot of the deficits I do with my team, they start off pretty mild, and then as the time frame disappears, we need to ramp things up. And we'll talk about how to do that as well. This is obviously very, very important as well. We still need to be fucking training hard. Without that, we're going to lose. Most of the weight gain will come, 25% to 30% will come from lean tissue. So this is why guys, you might have seen in the gym, they're big and they look strong, and then they just crash diet. They're on like 1,200 calories and they just disappear. Looks like essentially overnight. And this is why we need to be making sure that we're training hard. The excuse of like, oh, I'm in a deficit, I can't train as hard, is somewhat more mental bullshit than anything else. Of course, things will slow down a little bit depending on the aggressiveness of the deficit, but you still need to be training close to proximal failure, overloading your lifts, and everything in between. This is imperative if you want to hold on to your physique while you're cutting. Step 3 is protein intake. Is we need to be eating at least 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. very non-negotiable. I put a reel up on my Instagram the other day explaining how I eat 200 grams of protein every single day, and it's very fucking easy. Again, this is all to support muscle preservation. This is the imperative thing that will separate you from just turning skinny fat to actually being shredded. Number four, this is a really, really big one. And I see it fucking all the time in the gym. Hey, I'm going on a cut. I'm all of a sudden going to start running. And I ask, oh, have you done any running before? No, I need to do it to lose weight. This is what happens when you start to do endless cardio, the muscle loss risk goes up as far as like the energy trade off. It is just not worth it. Doing endless cardio will potentially put you up back into this area here where you're going to start wasting away muscle mass. You need to be making sure that the cardio is used to complement your deficit. It just to improve your fitness overall, allow you to move more. Your steps will become easier. The basic amount of cardio that you do, just to burn the extra calories, not as the main driver. It is just a tool. So don't think all of a sudden you need to do a cut and all of a sudden you just need to jump onto the cardio machines in the gym and go for your fucking life. Because again, resistance training plus being in a deficit drives fat loss more effectively than cardio alone, simply because it is so not as fatiguing as constantly fucking trying to, outburn things. And this is also a big trap of guys that they'll cut and then all of a sudden in 6 weeks time, they've put all the weight back on again because their energy was so high up. So they're burning a lot of calories, but then they go back to normal and their normal is a lot lower. So they put on the weight very quickly again. Okay, so can you do both? Yes, of course. When you're really new to training, or you've taken a few days off, or you're overweight, and of course if you're enhanced, you can definitely recomp and do both at the same time. For advanced, the main thing is that I do with my guys, depending on whether they're enhanced or not, is we still focus on one goal per block. For this period, you are building muscle. Then for this next period, we are shredding. And we also trying to line it up with events that you want to be in your best condition. A fucking holiday, a birthday, a photo shoot, maybe you're doing a competition. All of these things matter for building out a long-term plan. And the more advanced you get, the focus of it needs to be more and more intense. And again, you might have heard this thing. The hunter that chases two rabbits doesn't eat. So cuts all the time, never sees the size. Bulks all the time, never gets lean. If you're chasing these two things at the same time, you're just going to end up as like the lifetime intermediate where you never shredded, and big, and you're never big, and just in general. You can't just continually chase two rabbits. What we want to be doing is having short cuts to remain lean, anywhere between sort of like 8 to 12 weeks, I like, depending on obviously the goal of how lean we need to get. Any more than that, I'd say we need to mix in some diet breaks and all sorts of other things, because remember, this is a stress on the body. You can't just continually do this. For most of the year, my guys are building because there's no point cutting if there's nothing underneath to reveal for it. So that's what we want to be making sure, that we're constantly building for more than we're cutting. So then when we do cut, we actually have something to show for it. So let's cover things again. So the summary is lose weight plus muscle, building muscle is two separate processes. Can you do it? Yes. Is it rare to see in more advanced lifters? Absolutely. It's more common to see in advanced lifters, people who are new, people who've had like 3 months off, all those sort of things. But again, still treat it as a separate process. If you're coming back from one of those things and just say you're overweight, I would be more inclined to focus on cutting rather than building muscle. Remember again, you breathe out fat. 84% of it comes from here, and the other, however much percent, you piss it out and sweat it out. So you literally breathe and piss out fat. So you don't turn fat into muscle. You exhale fat as carbon dioxide, and you build muscle through resistance training in a calorie surplus with training with intent close to failure and progressively overload. Make sure if you want to make the best opportunity and look like some of these guys on my team, these guys built for most of the year. Very rarely are we cutting. Maybe they've got a holiday. Maybe they've just, they've reached a point where the calories just can't go up anymore, or whatever it may be. You need to be building more than you're cutting, because then those cuts become something like absolutely insane. You're like, holy shit, I didn't realize that I had that much going on. This stuff is really hard, but I can say right now that all these guys here, Vito here, built for 2 years before we got to this level. I built for 2 years before I start to reveal physiques like this. all these guys have been building a lot more, almost 3 times as much more as cutting. So it's imperative that if you want to change, like have this process where it does actually look like you're turning fat into muscle, well, you need to be building first to then unveil the muscle. So I hope that helps guys. I hope it clears up that myth. It's just one of those things that just circulates around and it's really starting to fucking piss me off. So if someone does say it, just say, hey, uh, don't want to correct you, but check out this video, my video, and this guy will prove you wrong. So I hope you like the video. Mean the best for me and my wife Liana. If you could like and subscribe, as we're just a small business. And yeah, comment anything down below.